What's up, guys? Welcome to the Casual Horror Fan channel. Today, I'm going to be discussing the new upcoming Nightmare on Elm Street film. I want to discuss why these will probably suck. Now, I don't hope that they suck. I don't want them to suck. I'm just going to walk you through why I think there's a high probability that these movies are not going to be good. So, here's the thing. Let's start with the franchise as a whole. Out of every entry in the series, to me, only 3 are worth watching. You have the original film, you have Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and you have DreamWorks. And what do those 3 films all have in common? Wes Craven either wrote and directed or wrote all 3 of them. But everything else within the Nightmare world is pretty lousy. Expanding outside a little bit of Nightmare on Elm Street, it's not just an Elm Street problem. Look at the Scream franchise. Everything after Wes Craven is pretty lousy. Not only are they not as good, they actually miss what makes Scream important, what makes Scream powerful. It's not just a meta story. It's not just, oh, it's a slasher with meta. It's a nod to the fans. It's letting the fans in on it. It kind of spits on the industry a little bit and is a nod to the fans. And that's like completely reversed because that's kind of what we do in modern society. So it wouldn't surprise me. I think it seems very possible that Wes Craven kind of has this special sauce, and without him, it's really hard to get at what he does right. Not to say somebody can't do it. Let's talk about what I think will be cool about this movie. The visuals are going to be cool. Freddy's probably going to look awesome. It's going to be more gruesome, more realistic than what we got from the original. Obviously, that's just a technological and also a time period thing. Everything has to be kind of over the top and kind of shocking and gruesome. However, I think it's very possible that they're going to lean so heavily into that and miss what actually makes Freddy scary. It's not just his claws or his knives for hands, his hatred for children and desire for revenge or anything like that. It's that he attacks you in your most vulnerable state, in the thing that is still to this day a mystery to us, sleep, the little death. Every time we go to sleep, we taste death. Sleep in and of itself is scary. Now you bring in a dream demon. That's what makes Freddy work. I think it's totally possible that they just don't even get that. Like, he's going to attack in the sleep, but I'm almost wondering if they'll miss kind of diving deep into that and just go into like super gore mode. Now, here's a possibility I think is worth talking about, and I want to be clear, this isn't a certainty, just something I think could happen. I think there's a real chance the new writers portray Freddy as a sympathetic victim. Picture a version of this story where there's no clean good guy versus bad guy. What happened to Freddy originally was genuinely wrong, and in a sense, he's entitled to want some kind of justice. But going about it the way he does is also wrong. So in that scenario, both sides end up being wrong. Now, in the original, you could argue that it was definitely wrong, although I actually wouldn't, given what Freddy did. You could argue it was wrong. The parents went too far. But you have a very clear black and white good versus bad. You don't really have that in a lot of modern movies. Now, you have it more in slashers, but it would not shock me at all if it's portrayed as morally ambiguous between the two sides. And that would also miss what makes Freddy cool. And this would be part of a separate video I've made about the new rules of modern horror that's going to be coming out soon. Make sure to check that one out. And I think a sympathetic, trauma-driven Freddy is exactly in line with the new rules of horror. There's one more thing working against this movie before it has even been written. Right now, there are actually 2 separate Nightmare on Elm Street projects in development. Paramount has the domestic rights. Warner Brothers has the international rights, with a director already attached on their side. Nobody currently has full control of this franchise. When a movie gets made because of a legal rights situation rather than because someone has a genuinely clear creative vision for it, that's almost never a good sign. I also think it's possible because these are going to kind of be competing movies, they'll try to go like, well, we have to do something so different and so unique, and they'll wind up just screwing up the story. Now, it's also possible that it's like, hey, flip a coin. Well, they made 2 movies. Hopefully they're competent directors, and one of them will be good, right? I think it's almost impossible that both will be good, but I think also that there's a possibility like this one kind of works both ways. Like I could see it driving the directors in the wrong direction, but I also could see it like, well, both are going to really try their best. You don't want to have the lousy Freddy movie, right? So maybe that'll help us get a better one. Anyway, that's all I've got. Let me know what you think. Well, let me know, do you agree that there's a lot of risk going into this? Let me know, are you excited? I am. I'm definitely going to see both of them, but yeah, I have my doubts that they'll actually be worth watching. Otherwise, guys, I'll see you in the next one, and I am